and welcome to the Vlogging Pod. Today we're diving into something that might not be hitting every headline, but has huge implications for how our votes are counted and how our voices are heard. We're talking about a legal challenge that's unfolding in Rockland County, New York. It's led by a group called Smart Elections, an organization that's suing for a recount of the 2024 Presidential and U.S. Senate races due to what they believe are major discrepancies in the vote count. Let's walk through the 5 key reasons why this lawsuit matters and how it might be a sign that the system, while under pressure, is still being used by everyday people to fight back. First, Smart Elections has gathered sworn voter affidavits. These aren't just accusations, they're signed statements from voters who say they cast their ballot for a particular candidate, only to find out their vote wasn't reflected in the official count. For example, in District 39, 9 people say they voted for independent Senate candidate Diane Sayre, yet only 5 votes were recorded for her. That's nearly a 50% drop. In District 62, 5 voters reported voting for Sayre, but only 3 votes showed up. Second, they noticed statistical anomalies in voting patterns. There are districts where the Democratic Senate candidate, Christine Gillibrand, received hundreds of votes, but the Democratic president candidate, Kamala Harris, reportedly got 0. That kind of gap in certain areas raises flags about potential vote tallying issues or machine error. Third, they analyzed something called the drop-off rate. That's the difference in the number of votes cast for one race versus another. In this case, a 23% drop-off was noted for Republican voters who picked a presidential candidate but left the Senate line blank. Odd, right? Even stranger, the Democratic drop-off rate was a negative 9%, which statistically means more people voted in the Senate race than in the presidential race. That goes against typical voting behavior. Fourth, this lawsuit isn't just talk, it's moving forward. On May 22, 2025, Judge Rachel Tongway of the New York Supreme Court allowed the case to proceed to discovery, which means Smart Elections can now gather evidence, request records, and depose election officials. The next court date is set for September 22nd in New York City, New York. And fifth, this is a data-backed, nonpartisan effort that's inviting public participation. They published all their findings, complete with exhibits, charts, and spreadsheets on their website. They're also calling for more plaintiffs who voted in Rockland County in 2024 and want to ensure their vote was counted. This isn't about one party or the other. It's about making sure that when people show up to vote, those votes are counted accurately. Whether you're skeptical or hopeful, this case is a real-time example of how ordinary people can use legal tools and data analysis to challenge the system. Not with violence or misinformation, but with evidence and determination. I'll keep watching this story for updates, especially when discovery kicks into gear. Today's sources for our podcast comes from smartelections.us/lawsuits-1, Smart Elections drop-off data, smartelections.us/drop-off. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye-bye for now.